LoreWarrior Online. The Icestorm. Overview. Before the development of the Firemoth Omnimech and other light recon designs, the Icestorm was the mech of choice for scout stars. Its fast speed and sophisticated communications and targeting gear suit the Icestorm to the role. Based on a late model Star League design known as the Cameroon, all prototypes and early models of what would become the Icestorm would join the Exodus fleet. When Clan Ice Hellion was formed, Kerensky assigned this clan the lion's share of the remaining Cameroons. Recognizing it as a viable design, Khan Stephen Cage rechristened the mech the Icestorm. He ordered a build-up of the design and put it to good use in the following decades. The mech remained popular among recon and support stars even after the development of the Omnimech, and the Icestorm was one of the last Hellion mechs to be replaced by modular units. Because it still serves a unique role, the Icestorm continues to have a working life near 2 centuries after its creation. Its exemplary track record makes it one of the few second-line mechs that frontline units tolerate having in their ranks. Capabilities. The Icestorm is an exceptionally fast mech, with a top speed approaching 200 kph. It can outdistance most frontline light Omnis with ease, but what this mech offers in speed, it lacks in protection. Outfitted with only a small amount of standard armour, the Icestorm cannot survive hits from any but the lightest clan weapon. Icestorm pilots frequently complain about the lack of sufficient protection in the mech's head alone, but the clan has so far failed to reallocate existing armour or upgrade it to ferrofibrous. This mech's offensive armament also weighs in pretty light for a mech of this tonnage, though it is using an extended range medium laser and a short range missile launcher adequately supporting its role as a scout and artillery spotter. The Icestorm carries advanced target acquisition gear which, combined with the mech's speed, makes the Icestorm a deadly spotter, and during the Pentagon campaign in the early days of the clans, Ice Hellion recon units used the Icestorm to deadly effect in crushing resistance on Babylon. Field use of the Icestorm increased during the Hellion's Fury campaign waged just prior to the Innisphere invasion, where its spotting ability would help soften up numerous enemy targets. Hellion commanders made a point of informing their vanquished foes that their defeat was due partly to the successful performance of the ancient design. Deployment. Alpha Galaxy is the only Ice Hellion unit to contain no Icestorms. All other galaxies, both front and second line, count at least one amongst their ranks, though most belong to second line garrison forces. Theta Galaxy also fields few of the mech of this design as the Icestorm's mission profile clashes with their role as a merchant escort. Of the other clans, only Wolf include a respectable number of Icestorms among their garrison forces. So this is a 25-ton light. Its chassis is the Hellion Light version 3. It has a 300XL power plant with 126 kph cruise speed and 190 kph max speed with no jump jets. Its armour is Compound Alpha Standard, with a armament of 1 Series 2F Extended Range Medium and a 1 Pattern Alpha SRM2 launcher and tag. It's manufactured by Hector Mechworks Facility Beta, and communications is the Build 1685 Tapticom, and targeting and tracking is the Series 6 Integrated TTS. Stat-wise, it translates to a walk of 12 and a run of 18, which is pretty respectable given its size. Its armour factor is quite light though. It has 6 on the head, 8 on the CT with 2 on the rear, 6 on the right and left torso with 1 on the rear, and 6 on the arms and 7 on the legs. The ER medium is located in the right arm, the SRM is located in the head with the ammo in the right torso with 50 shots in total, equipped with tag located in the centre. So basically it's the Clan Wasp, I guess you could say. Obviously a little heavier, but basically packing the same firepower as the Wasp. In a straight up fight, the two mechs would probably have a pretty equal fight against each other. I do appreciate the art doing a pretty good job of making it look like a pretty outdated design. It looks low tech compared to what you'd expect from the other clans out there. It's a nice action shot as well, giving it a bit of mobility or kineticism to the artwork. But yeah, it looks like it's still kind of patched together. You can imagine that bits of these are maybe missing some panels and parts and stuff because they've just been around for so long. They're not a major concern for clans to keep up and running, but I guess the pilots still, get the job done when it's needed to keep the mech in fully working order. But at its weight, I like the background for it. It has an interesting story. It's not too overpowered a design for its weight class. It's got good speed. Obviously it's meant to do one job and one job well, which is target enemy units that are good for artillery strikes, and it gets to the location and marks them. It's weapons are purely for self-defense, and that's it. This isn't a mech that is meant to get in close and start duking it out with other light mechs or vehicles. And yeah, I appreciate the fact that there are mechs that are built for specific roles like this. So, you know, not every mech is designed to kill other mechs, not every tank is designed to destroy other tanks, etc, etc. A mindset that I think many people unfortunately have with regards to not just Battletech, but I think a lot of hobbies that have a kind of a military slant to them. One of the things that pops to mind is a game like Star Citizen, for instance, where every fighter has to be the best fighter. Every warship has to be the best warship, and that's not necessarily the case. When you're trying to build a universe and have believable elements of that universe, things like this add to that. It gives it depth, texture, and flavour. The idea that units like this aren't used as frontline combatants, that they do move around and find the opportune target for artillery. They contribute to the overall whole of the military force. And sure, on the table, it might be difficult to utilise that kind of element, but it's there for a GM to come up with a scenario where the players may have to use a vehicle like this in terms of completing an objective, or this is a target that they have to hunt down. One of these things has been basically creeping around and has been causing all kinds of havoc. It's been marking targets, and clan artillery has been raining down, and the players have been sent out to basically track this thing and take it out before it causes any more damage. But even in just like scenario play where you're just building forces and putting them against each other, it's effective as a unit of being able to do things like, yeah, mark for aerospace strike or artillery strike, or helping your LRM equipped units have a much easier time landing those missiles. It splits the opponent's sort of fire, because they're going to have to dedicate some of their units to try and counteract this, either taking it out as quickly as possible or just making it run away so it can't use its tag to great effect. So there's good elements there that give you different options for play. And yeah, if every mech was just good at killing other mechs, it'd be a boring universe. And that's one of the cool things about Battletech, is that it's got lots of this kind of stuff in it. Unfortunately, these kind of things just don't get much of a look in, because people like the nice big shooty things, the mechs that can go full Dakar. It's why things like the Piranha are so popular, because it's a light mech in the clan range that has all the machine guns and some lasers, whereas other light mechs in the same category like the Firemoth and stuff get kind of overlooked. Stuff like this in the Icestorm or the Snow Fox, or a whole bunch of other light clan designs that just don't get a look in. The Mistlinks barely gets a touch. It's those kind of things. People just want the mechs that get kills most of the time, and they're not really bothered about the things that are, you know, actually make the universe more interesting. So I appreciate seeing things like the Icestorm in Battletech. I also appreciate it when they come up with a mech that actually, it isn't great, because not everything that gets produced is the best at what it does. The idea that a company has an idea and it just doesn't quite reach the goal that it intended to, that they fall foul of production runs, corporate espionage, overreaching even, and just end up producing a mech that just didn't hit the mark. They still produce it, it's still there, and that's what's great. That's what gives them some interest and makes that unit stand out a bit more, even if it is for the wrong reasons. At least there's something cool about it. And yeah, the Icestorm being this ancient design that's still rattling around in the Ice Hellion Towman and a few in all the other clans here and there, is a nice little quirk. It's the idea of seeing one of these things would be a novelty. And yeah, there's a little bit of a story you can attach to them, especially for the pilots. So yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that. So that's the Icestorm. And yeah, give it a look. Give it some love. And see you all next time. Bye bye.